How's it going, everyone? This is Abe's Card Collection back with another Through the Mail Tuesday video. This week we're going to look at 8 returns, hoping to get some vintage returns back, and maybe some current day players. Been lucky so far with the baseball season starting. Without further ado though, put these up here and we'll start down in Orlando, Florida. Hope everyone is having a fantastic week. Of course, hope your mailboxes are full. We have a hard card here. And we have former 17-0 punter for the Dolphins, Larry Seipel. We have him here on a 1975 Topps card, a 76 Topps card, a nice 1978 Topps card, and then a 73. Very cool. 4 for 4. Black ink. Way to go. So what do we have? A 2-time Super Bowl champion. Played with the Dolphins from 1967 to 1977 after being drafted in the 7th round of the 1967 draft. Out of Kentucky. Also a receiver back in the NFL days. They'd be a punter, and not just a punter, but they'd be a kick returner or a safety or a wide receiver. So 934 receiving yards with 7 touchdowns for that 12.8 reception. Yards per reception. Can't talk right now. Per usual. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. These cards came back in 9 days. 4 for 4 success. Thank you, sir, for your autograph. Very cool. You have to let's put the 73 up here and then put the rest down here. So starting off with some football, some vintage football. Next, we're going to stay in Florida, okay? West Palm Beach, Florida. Let's see if it'll stay football or if we'll get some baseball in here. I don't think I have very many basketball requests out right now, but it stays football. Jerry Philbin. It's a great signature. Look at that blue ink. Number 81, 1972 Topps. We have here, flip it around, we have a 71 Topps, very cool. A 69 Topps, a little smudge there on the 81, that's okay. And then a 67 Topps. I'm not sure if this is Jerry Philbin's rookie card. Could be. I think that's about the time he got into the the AFL, before he became the NFL. But I started off with the Jets in 1964, played with them until 1972. Finished things off with the Eagles in 1973, was a 2-time AFL All-Star. Of course, was a part of the Miracle Super Bowl III for those Jets. It's a good old Joe Willie Namath. It's part of the Jets Ring of Honor. It was a 2-time first team All-AFL. And of course, was an AFL champion the year they went on to win the Super Bowl. And led the AFL in sacks in 1968. Abe is struggling hard today. But played 123 games in the AFL/NFL. And looking at the spreadsheet here, these cards came back very fast. Just 10 days for Mr. Jerry Philbin. So, 2 football. I think I dipped a little hard on them. 4 for 4 on both, but look fantastic. I know this is the oldest card we have, but I'm going to put the 72 Topps up there. It just looks really nice. Then put these down here. Very cool. Thank you, Mr. Jerry Philbin. How about Philadelphia, PA? No hard card in this one. We have Mr. Larry Boa. Very cool. This is an 84 Topps. Active stolen bases leader. Pretty incredible. Way over 300 steals at that point. Here's an 84 Topps, an 83 Topps, and then a 1988, 89, 88 Topps. I'm not the best with those ones. He's a manager. Man, I really like that 83 Topps the best, though, I think. Really clean. So Mr. Larry Boa, of course, was a manager. Before that was a player. Played for the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Mets. Was a 5-time All-Star, won a World Series with those Phillies in 1980, a 2-time Gold Glove Award winner, and after his playing days. You can see here he went to be a manager with the Padres and the Phillies. With the Phillies, he was actually the NL Manager of the Year in 2001 and is now part of the Philadelphia Phillies Wall of Fame. Over 2,000 hits in his career. Very, very cool. Thank you, Mr. Larry Boa. Checking out the spreadsheet. Got to go all the way up to those Bs. These came back in just 8 days. Very cool. So we got 2 football, 2 baseball. And as you can see, I sent 4 to each of them. I don't usually do that. Usually my limit's 3. So a couple weeks ago, I must have just been going a little crazy there, sending 4 out each player. But let's go to Pittsburgh, PA next. Across the state. This one, very, very thick. Taped across there. Don't want to mess anything up, so we're going to go through the top. I think I know who this one is, though. Anybody recognize that handwriting? The original one, Mr. Frank Thomas. Man, he sent a long letter. Look at that. Starts there. I don't think I've ever gotten a letter this long from Mr. Frank Thomas. Very cool. Goes all the way to the back. I'm going to have to read that later. Let's look at the cards. We sent him a 54 Bowman. Very, very nice. And a 55 Bowman. And then a 1965 Topps. And he sent us a nice business card if you need his address. There it is. Put that over there. He even includes his phone number. And then I've never gotten this one back before, but he usually sends back an extra signed card of his own, a custom card. So 4 for 3? I don't even know. He signed the letter 2, 5, or 6 for 3, something like that. Pretty incredible. But the original one, Mr. Frank Thomas, playing in the league from 1951 to 1966 for a plethora of teams. As you see here, the Pirates predominantly. Then with the Reds, the Cubs, the Braves, the Mets, the Phillies, the Astros, back with the Braves and back with the Cubs. Hit 266 in his career with 286 home runs and 962 runs batted in. He was a 3-time All-Star. These cards came back fairly quick. Let's see here. Usually do. 7 days. And he does have a $5 fee per. Well worth it. I mean, look at these cards. Look at how amazing they look, especially his 54 Bowman. That's my favorite. 55 Bowman looks good too, of course. So, very, very nice. Thank you, Mr. Frank Thomas, the original one. And his letters, he usually sends a nice letter. If you, and of course here I'll point out, I've gotten these photos before. Very, very, they're very nice. So, well worth the $22. And everything kind of goes, it goes to a charity. So, well worth the $5. Thank you, Mr. Frank Thomas. Absolute gentleman. It's a lot of cards. We've only gotten through 4 returns. So, and I mean, it's been 4 for 4 in all of them, or it's gotten 4 cards back. This one's a little thinner, but North Texas, Texas, Dallas, Texas. Always hard to beat Frank Thomas, though. Gotten him back, I think, 3 times now over the past couple years. Joe Ferguson. Back to some vintage football. 1977 Topps. 1976 Topps. And then a 78 Topps. I wonder if he signed this one first, because you can see the Sharpie was kind of dead here. And then maybe he switched up for these ones. But very cool, Mr. Joe Ferguson. Played in the NFL from 1973 after being drafted in the 3rd round out of Arkansas all the way into 1990. Finished his career off with the Colts, believe it or not. Played predominantly with the Bills, though, from 73 to 1984. Then went on to the Lions for a few years from 85 to 87, the Buccaneers, and then finished things off with the Colts. But he led the NFL in passing yards in 1977, passing touchdowns in 1975, and is a part of the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame. Threw 196 touchdowns in his career and just a shade under 30,000 passing yards. Checking out the spreadsheet here. Spreadsheet's getting pretty big. I have a lot of requests out. 17 days for Mr. Joe Ferguson. Thank you, sir, for your autograph. And this was a 3-3 instead of a 4 out of 4. I'm going to run out of space. But very cool. We'll put them right there. Got 3 to go. North Houston, Texas, excuse me. Another super thin one. I think this is only one card. We're out of room, so. Oh, sweet. Shane Leckler. Very cool. Didn't think I was going to get this one back. He played in the NFL for a long time. 2000, I think, from the Oakland Raiders, drafted him out of Texas A&M, 5th round, and then finished things off with the Texans in 2017. But he played with the Raiders for 13 years and then went on to the Texans for 4. Was a 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time first team All-Pro. Checking out the spreadsheet here. Also won a Golden Toe Award. Like to point that out whenever we get a punter back. Part of 2 NFL All-Decade teams, the 2000s and the 2010s. Kind of how Jim Bakken was in the 1960s and 1970s. Still looking for him on the spreadsheet, so let's see what else can we remember about him. I think he punted for over 68,000 yards and still, I believe, holds the highest career punts, average yards per punt in his NFL career. This card came back in just 59 days. Thank you, Mr. Shane Leckler. That's a cool one. A lot of football this week. I don't know where we can put him. I think we're going to have to put him over here somewhere. Alrighty. 2 to go. Thank you for bearing with me here. It's been a little struggle this week, not going to lie. St. Paul, Minnesota. See what we got in here. We do have a hard card. Notice some of these envelopes got a little chewed up. I don't know if they got wet, what was going on, if I just mailed them out on a bad day. How about that? Paul Krause. Let's flip it around. On a 73 Topps. Hall of Fame inscription. And then we have him here on this 1976 Topps. Interception leaders. I am 100% going to try to get Mel Blount to sign this card. He does not sign TTM, of course, but he does do some private signings and some in-person signings. I haven't seen him at an in-person signing in a long time. I know he's doing the Pittsburgh show coming up here at the end of the month, or actually a week or so. So I don't think I'm going to get that one out, but we'll see what happens. But we're not talking about Mel Blount. We're talking about another Hall of Famer, Paul Krause. I think he still holds the record for most career interceptions in the NFL with 81. Got drafted by the Washington, now Commanders, in the 2nd round of the 1964 draft out of Iowa. Played with them for a couple seasons and then found his, well, I shouldn't say found his success, but he ended up moving on to the Minnesota Vikings, where he had even more success because he had a lot of success in Washington as well, including in his rookie season having 12 interceptions. Pretty incredible. So was an 8-time Pro Bowler. Of course, led the NFL in interceptions when he did in his rookie year in 1964 with those 12. 3-time first team All-Pro. Part of pretty much every anniversary team for the Washington football team or Washington Commanders and the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see here. These cards came back in just 10 days. There is a fee required, $10 per. Well worth it for the Hall of Famer. I mean, 81 career interceptions. Absolutely incredible. Great signature, too. So thank you, Mr. Paul Krause. I'm going to put him right up there. Hopefully one day I get that card finished with Mr. Mel Blount. We are running out of space. Our last return is from Columbus, Ohio. Staying up north there. Look at this. It's got bent up. I don't know what happened. A couple of these, though, came back like that. Almost like they got wet at some point. Let's see here. There's a hard card. Ooh, the hard card got destroyed. Look at that. Ooh. Let's see here. It looks like the card's in good shape, though. 69 Topps, Bob Vogel. That beautiful blue Sharpie, too. Mr. Bob Vogel. How cool is that? 5-time Pro Bowler. Spent his entire career with the Baltimore Colts from 63 to to 1972 after being drafted out of Ohio State University. Very cool. I believe they won the national championship back in 61 while he was there as well. After making those 5 Pro Bowls, he won a Super Bowl with those Colts, Super Bowl 5 that was. Of course, also won the NFL championship in 1968, where they went on to lose to Jerry Philbin, believe it or not. So pretty cool correlation there. Checking out the spreadsheet, this card came back in just 10 days. Thank you, Mr. Bob Vogel. Very cool. I think he has an outside shot one day of making the Hall of Fame. Same with a guy like Shane Lechler. I mean, Shane Lechler made 2 All-Pro or All-Decade teams, so why not? But love that 69 Topps. Beautiful blue ink for those Colts. Thank you, Mr. Bob Vogel. That's our 8 returns. Tons of cards. I don't even know how many, but quite a few. I guess I got on a little run there. I was sending out 4 per, and I usually have a limit of 3 per, just a personal limit. But thank you to everybody for watching. If anybody is watching that signed these cards, thank you for signing these cards. They're beautiful. I hope your mailboxes are full as well. Bye for now.